Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.
Hello, I'm Lori Steiner. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, we'll offer options to optimize your health insurance. Then, we'll add up the facts and figures to create a flourishing financial plan. The doctor is in with health news you can use. Plus, diets don't work. So what does? We'll tell you. And can't pay your taxes on time? We'll present plans to avoid paying penalties.
It's time to get geoing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. The sad truth is, for many of us seniors, is that the older we get, the sicker we get. Chronic conditions develop or become more serious, and then the revolving door begins. The emergency room, hospitalization, nursing home, and then home care until the next healthcare crisis occurs and it starts all over again. Is there a better way? Dr. Robert Ruznicki and Michelle Seranian, oh, sorry about that. Okay. Seranian are here to tell us about a new program being tested called Personalized Care at Home. Dr. Ruznicki is the Chief Medical Officer with Medical Mutual of Ohio, and Michelle is the Chief Marketing and Business Development Officer for Hospice of the Western Reserve. Well, I got through your title all very well, so I apologize for that. So we want to make clear, though, right off the bat, that this new program is being tested. It's not available today, but it's coming, right?
That's right. And we hesitate to call this a pilot program because that makes people think maybe it's experimental. But it is a program that we've used a bit. And what we're trying to do is to refine who would benefit the most from this program. And we use all sorts of tests and software and such so that we can find out who will benefit the most from this.
Okay, well that sounds like who should be getting the benefits here. So. And the aging baby boomers, the chronic problems are just going to continue to grow, right?
Oh boy, don't we know that? And it seems like with your car, what ends up happening is not one thing goes wrong at a time, but it's two things or three things. And it's always multiple things that seem to be going on. And lots of times that ends up leading to hospitalizations. Not just the hospitalizations, but particularly in our older folks, the rate that people get readmitted to the hospital within a short time is very high. And that is not only expensive for society, for Medicare, for your health plan, but also for the individual and his or her family.
Right, so it's not, money is definitely a factor in that. But, I mean, what other choice does somebody have with a chronic condition? I mean, you got to get care.
You have to get care, and we're lucky in Ohio. We have great hospitals all through the state. So if you need care, you can get it. But this program, the key to this program, is about what can we do to interrupt that? What can we do to have people stay at home, be cared for at home, and identify what we should be doing to help those people?
Okay, and so you partnered with Hospice of the Western Reserve, and it's a new program, right?
That's right.
What's the program called?
The program is called Personalized Care at Home, and we get help from Western Reserve with that program.
Okay, and so it's not hospice care, so how is hospice actually involved in this program then?
Certainly. Western Reserve At Home Support is a new business unit under Hospice of the Western Reserve. It is not hospice care. It is really caring for people who have advanced chronic illness. You know, we've cared for people for so long who've had life-threatening illnesses, so it's a skill that is very easy and appropriate for us to deliver to the community. We're thrilled to be partnering with Medical Mutual in bringing this service to Northern Ohio. The program's goals have already been shared. The program's goals are to really ensure that a person is kept as healthy as possible. And that is done through a team of nurses, social workers, aides, and volunteers that partner with the case managers at Medical Mutual to ensure that a personalized plan of care is being developed for them. Okay. And we partner with their physician.
Okay, so what actually is covered in this program?
In the program is a variety of services. There are nursing visits to the home. We have a social worker who will also work with the patient and their caregivers to ensure that if other social or community services are needed, things like Meals on Wheels, other kinds of protective services, whatever the person needs, the social worker will help to arrange for that individual. Aides and volunteers. The aides will come in, help with bathing. They'll also help with some light housework. They'll also provide some companionship. And what's very unique about the program, and one of the things that really Medical Mutuals, we thought through the program, the use of our volunteers. Volunteers can provide companionship in terms of visiting, playing cards, reading a book. I mean, just things that a person needs. When you've got a chronic illness and it's difficult sometimes for you to leave the home, it's a great
It's not just
service.
medical, it's also, mental and spiritual and all those things.
Absolutely. It also focuses on the spiritual and the social needs of the individual.
It sounds like a fantastic program. And the program name says it all, Personalized Care at Home. To find out more about this innovative and patient-focused test program, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Dr. Reznicki and Michelle for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Find out more about Medical Mutual of Ohio by visiting their website, www.medmutual.com/2015 options, or call 1-866-488-3266. Next, in the planning stages. But first, this currency was only current for about 1 month back in the mid-1930s and was imprinted with the image of President Woodrow Wilson. Can you boast which dollar bill was barely banked on? We'll pay off with the answer when we return.
Hilltop Village Apartments is retirement living at its best. Residents enjoy a wide variety of activities and living services with all large first-floor apartments, private screened-in patios with beautiful park views, daily dining room meals, free laundry facilities, 24-hour staff, and so much more. Enjoy safe, comfortable independence at a very affordable price. Call today for a tour and learn how you can get your first month's rent free. Hilltop Village Apartments, retirement living at its best.
The largest U.S. tender ever printed, the $100,000 bill, was never cashed by any consumer. The reason? It wasn't circulated, but instead used solely for transferring funds for the Federal Reserve. While wire transfers would have taken care of that task today, for a brief time this big bill was worth its weight in gold.
Do you know that most of us spend more time planning for our vacations than our financial future? It's true. But if we want our retirement resources to fund our dreams, we need to begin preparing pronto. Jim Lineweaver is a man with a plan to help us all redirect our resources so we can be ready for retirement. Jim is a certified financial planner professional with the Lineweaver Financial Group. So welcome back to the show.
Good to see you again.
Seems like there is more and more options for investing, but we're still not retirement ready?
Unfortunately, we're not. I mean, with all the things out there, I think actually with the internet and the abundance of information, it's making people overwhelmed. I've actually seen people that'll spend more time researching a 60-inch TV for their living room or buying the next car than they actually do in their retirement. When you think about it, the retirement is the biggest purchase they'll ever make in their lifetime because it's got to last them 20 or 30 or 40 years.
You think of it as your own purchase. That's a good way to think
you really
of
have
it.
to be careful.
So I bet people have 401ks and IRAs. I mean, they must be doing something towards retirement.
Well, they are on their saving, but unfortunately it's just not nearly enough. As a matter of fact, according to the Employee Benefit Research Institute, 46% of all working Americans have saved less than $10,000 for retirement, and of all Americans, 29% have saved less than $1,000.
Oh, that's awful.
Not going to get you very
Scary.
far in retirement.
Yeah. So we need a financial plan. So we got to get going on this better course.
We do. And the financial plan isn't always about just the finances, but because also it's going to hold you accountable. You know, we talk to people in their 30s and they want to wait till their 40s or 40s and 50s. And sooner or later you're going to run out of time and you lose that compound effect of your money. But it's also about managing your debt. And you have to be really careful about this because, as a matter of fact, about 39% of all the Americans that are out there are carrying a lot of credit card debt, according to the National Foundation of Credit Card Counseling. And a lot of this debt is in the double-digit range, and you're not tax deducting it like you could a long time ago. So it's something that you really got to manage both the finances and the debt in order to make sure you have a successful future.
Well, I bet a lot of people are going to try to do this on their own, just to save a little money right there. But that's not a good idea, is it? So
No.
what kind of things do you have to take a look look at?
Well, a lot of different things. You know, so people maybe get so caught up in their lifestyle that they don't take the time to do this, but you really could get out there and seek some professional help. You want to improve your money management, want a professional opinion, maybe just some type of somebody to bounce some ideas off of. Maybe you have some immediate needs, or family or loved ones or parents that you got to address right away. I know I have 3 kids and we're in 4 sports and running all the time, and it can get very, you know, you can lose track of time and not pay attention to the big picture, which people really need to do.
Okay, so is there a place we can go for help?
You can. Matter of fact, if it's debt related, actually a division of the United Way can really help. It's called 211cleveland.org, and that's a great resource for people that have run into some problems with some debt. But also, if you're going to seek a professional out there, I would actually recommend a certified financial planning professional that could really help you out, because they've been trained in a lot of these areas.
Okay, so you have your meeting and you're all good to go, right?
Well, I'd like to think so. But unfortunately, what ends up happening is, you know, these plans that you put in place, you want to make sure you're addressing them on a regular basis. A lot of things are dynamic. You know, tax laws change all the time, investment rules change all the time, your contribution limits to 401ks and IRAs change. You really want to make sure you're staying on top of this, so it's dynamic and you're going to have to do it on a regular basis.
And I understand you have some seminars coming up.
We do.
That will help.
We have an education program coming up at our Valley View office. There's no charge to any of your viewers. It's going to be on Tuesday, April 7th at 6 p.m. and also Thursday, April 9th at 1 p.m. They do get filled up relatively quickly, so if you could have your viewers call sooner, we'll make sure we get on the seat.
All right, as always, good information. You've heard the saying before, no one plans to fail, they just fail to plan. To make sure your retirement is a success, start planning now. And for help, attend Jim's seminar or give him a call. His number's next.
For more information, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or click to www.lineweaver.net. Next, here's to your health. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. It's time to play ball. Here's the pitch. The Cleveland Indians will host their home opener this Friday, April 10th at Progressive Field. To watch our team trounce the Tigers, you need a ticket. So visit www.cleveland.indians.mlb.com or call 216-420-HITS 4487 and go Tribe!
You had a starring role in your first act, childhood, then took on a more of a supporting role in your second act, marriage and family. Now you can take center stage again in your Act 3, retirement. But in order to make this act a hit, you need some fellow cast members. Dr. Shirley Ratner is here with some ideas on auditioning people and places so you can be socially successful. Dr. Ratner is a clinical psychologist with Metro Health. Welcome again.
Thank you for having me.
So why is social interaction so important as we age?
Well, it's very important because research shows that it actually has health benefits. Social connection can decrease depression, it can delay onset of dementia, and it can certainly keep us cognitively in tune, which is very, very important. The challenge is keeping social in that third act. First act, childhood, was easy. We had friends in school. Second act, when we were raising kids and working, we had friends through work and through our children's other parents. In the third act, we're more at risk because when we retire, we go through a grieving process. We're going into this next stage of our life, and it's very easy to get depressed and to isolate ourselves.
So you talk about social active life, or active social life. What does that really mean?
Right, so it doesn't mean that you are partying all the time.
Why not?
Social activity is connecting socially to the greater world. So that could be going to dinner and a movie with friends. It could also mean going to a class, joining a book group, a golf league, being connected.
Okay, so you have some top ways to help become engaged socially. The first one is nurturing your social network.
Right, exactly. So to nurture your social network, you need to put in some effort. And today, with modern technology, that's easy to do. You can use Facebook, you can use emailing, among others. And in fact, Facebook is claiming that the population of 65-year-olds and over are the ones who are using it the most at this time.
Oh.
It's a great way to connect. It's also a great way to connect with people who you haven't talked to in a long time, you haven't talked to since childhood. And it's nice to connect with people who knew you when you were becoming who you are.
The next one I thought it was a surprise. Go back to work.
Right, right. I know, you just retired, so
Right.
why go back? Well, actually, when we retire from our work, we lose a sense of our identity. And going back for some part-time work can reclaim a little bit of that. And you can do a little bit of part-time work, and it doesn't necessarily affect your retirement benefits, but you want to find out how. But it's a great way to reconnect to the community.
Okay, and third is volunteer.
That's right. So again, volunteering is a way to connect by helping and giving of yourself. And the key is to find something that is of interest to you. One of the great places to go is United Way. Dial 211 or go on their website and see if you can find something that speaks to you.
Okay, sounds like that's a good place to go for a lot of different things. The last tip you have is offer to help your family out.
Absolutely, guys. Listen, you want to spend more time with your children and grandchildren, and they are super busy, right? Offer to babysit. Offer to drive carpool to a dance class or to school. It's a great way to take off some of the burden off of your children and spend some good personal quality time with your grandchildren.
As always, great tips. Retirement is a time when you can enjoy yourself, and the best way to do that is to be involved with others. Follow Dr. Ratner's tips and make the most of your Act 3. My thanks to Dr. Ratner for taking time to socialize with us here today.
To learn more, call Metro Health at 216-778-7800 or log on to www.metrohealth.org. Next, dump dieting to really lose weight. It's time to get up and go, an exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, it's Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're here to show you how to work the shoulder muscles, but more importantly than the shoulder muscles, the trap muscles, which aid our neck in moving all different directions when we're driving or even sitting at the ballpark watching a game. You ready to go? I don't know. Exactly, you already got it. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna stand on the center of the band. Okay, we wanna make sure there's a nice amount of tension between our foot and our hand. All we're gonna do is maintain good posture, make sure you breathe, but we're gonna bring the shoulders to our ears and then back down. Your arms should stay straight throughout the whole movement. Just squeeze your neck and look forward, okay? Raise your shoulders as high as you can, as if you're saying, I don't know.
I don't know.
How you feeling?
I don't know.
I don't know, all right. All right, we're looking for 12 to 15 repetitions here, at least 3 to 4 sets, everybody. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 6105 Parkland Boulevard, Suite 140, Mayfield Heights, Ohio, 44124.
Have you noticed that there are more diets out there than days of the year? Dr. Nola Booth says that's the case for a very good reason, because no matter what flavor you pick, diets don't work. Dr. Abood is here to weigh in with a different solution that he believes does. Dr. Abood is with the Solon Spine and Wellness Center. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
So how do you say diets don't work? We see those, the fabulous stories all the time of how they work.
And I think that's one of the biggest challenges is how do you know which one to go to, what's right for your body? And I'm sure everybody has had success to some degree on their diets. But think about it, if you look at overall, there's more gyms than we've ever had, there's more diet plans in the world, there's more access on the internet to diets, yet we're showing a steady progression of weight gain of the average American.
Okay, but isn't the traditional tried and true, you eat less and you move more and that's all you have to do?
That's exactly the opposite way, because we have an instinct in our body that says, hey, when there's no food, like back before there was grocery stores, when there was time of famine, we would store fat in case there's famine. Our bodies would do that instinctively. And now there's grocery stores right down the road, but our bodies still want to hold on to that fat. And I think that's because the body is just, the biomechanics of the body is out of whack.
Okay, so that must be, the biomechanics must be why it's so easy for some people to lose weight or stay slim, and some people look at food and gain weight.
Exactly. I mean, we all know of someone that can eat whatever they want and they don't gain weight, and another person just smells food and they gain weight. And that's based on metabolism, which is controlled by hormones, which is a chemical. So it's truly a chemical imbalance. And I tell my patients over and over, it's not your fault. Really, how do you change your metabolism? There's no way you can really do it other than exercise, which is important, but you can't change the biochemistry on your own. You need an outside intervention to be able to do that.
Okay, so you have a program for that, right? So
We do.
as you start out in this program with figuring out what the biochemical differences are, right?
It's the technology that really does it. We were not able to do this 10 years ago. Now the technology allows us to read your biomarkers, things in your body that are causing you to hold on to fat. Why are you storing fat, and why is your metabolism so slow? And actually, we're putting your hand on it's a cradle, and it's connected to a computer, and it's reading signals, 2,800 different factors in your body that are causing you to hold on to fat.
Okay, so you put your hand on it, it zaps you.
Right.
That's not the weight loss, right? That's
No,
just
I
reading
wish it
your
was
body.
that easy, right? Right.
So, and so once you get a readout or something, right?
It does, and I know this sounds too sci-fi, you know, I don't know how my cell phone works. All I know is I know how to use it, right? So we put our hand on this, and it's like a barcode. It reads what's going on inside your body.
Okay.
It gives us a printout, so then we know exactly what your biomarkers are that are out of range. And so we can create the exact recipe that addresses those biomarkers, and we put it in liquid form. You just sip water throughout the day. That helps balance your biochemistry. The goal of that is to get your body to begin burning the fat that it's been storing. You know how a bear stores fat in the winter? He lives on that.
So you have actually a printout from one of your patients, I understand here. So the left one is the finished weight, and the right one is what she started with. So
correct. So in order for us to determine if we can help you, we need to run something called a body composition analysis. And this is what it measures, not just your weight. As you can see, she weighed 185 to begin. She's now 158. So she lost 26.4 pounds. This was in 42 days. She's a 64-year-old woman. She was ranked obese, you see on the right. Now she's ranked healthy. Her visceral fat was 19. Cardiologists tell us anything above a 12 is a high risk for heart disease, and she's now in the normal range of 9. Her metabolic age, you can see at the bottom, 90 years old. She's now at 55. That's 9 years younger than her actual age. She feels great. She is continuing to lose weight, and she did that in 42 days.
that's amazing. Just great information. So you haven't failed your diets have failed you. To find out more if this program could help you lose weight, give Dr. Abood a call. His number is coming up next.
Find out more by calling Solon Spine and Wellness Center at 440-669-0050 or log on to www.slendersolon.com. Next, dealing with IRS deadlines.
Here, we're improving the health of our community. Here, a student sees a doctor without ever leaving school. Here, a stroke survivor regains the use of his right hand. Here, a foster child gets the consistent care he deserves. Here, and here, we're breaking new ground every day. So we can break ground here tomorrow. Be a part of the Metro Health transformation. It's good for everyone. Here.
Tax day is rapidly approaching. If you don't think you can pay the IRS, what do? Here to discuss this taxing problem is my partner, Mike Solomon.
Hi, Lori.
So April 15th is almost upon us, the dreaded day. What if you don't have enough money to pay your taxes when it's time to file?
Well, no matter what, always file your return by April 15th. Even if your tax return shows you owe money and you don't have the money to pay it, file the return, or if you don't have enough information, then file an extension. It's a Form 4868, you get an automatic 6 months extension. Because if you don't file the return on time or you don't file an extension, not only are you still going to owe the taxes and you're still going to owe interest, you're going to owe a lot more penalties, including a penalty for filing your return late. So you don't want to do that.
Yeah, they get you all over the place. So what can we do to reduce tax penalties?
Well, there are only a few choices, but one of them is you can file a request to pay your taxes over an installment period. And that'll reduce your penalties. It won't reduce your tax, and you'll still owe interest, but if you file a Form 9465, you can request to pay your taxes in an installment.
It's better to file it with your return, but if you file it after you file your return, that's fine also.
Okay. So is this a do-it-yourself kind of a thing, or is this something that you need a professional to help you with?
Well, you don't need a professional, but I'm going to advise you to sit down with a tax advisor or an attorney to go over the form and make sure you do it right. It's not a complicated tax form, but it's still a tax form. So it's complicated nonetheless. And secondly, you want to see if you're going to have an ongoing problem. You know, this might not just be a one-time event, it might be more than that, and therefore you want to sit down with somebody. But assuming you file the return, there's some basics to the return. You know, number one, you figure out your tax that you owe. Number two, take that, divide it by 72. That's your monthly payment. Now you can pay more than that, but that's the
minimum.
The minimum you have to pay. Then you pick a date. You know, somewhere between the 1st and the 28th, the day you're supposed to pay the tax, and then make those payments on those dates. Okay?
Yeah, definitely do that.
Don't forget that. And then you send the form in with a filing fee. It's $140, or if you do a debit card, they'll let you do it for $52.
Okay, so a little bit less if you do it automatically.
That's
and
right.
They don't have to chase you for the money, probably.
That's
so
right.
what if I can't afford the payments, you know, over this time frame?
Well, again, you know, still file the return, but if you can't if you can't make those payments over that installment period, then you definitely need to sit down with a tax advisor and work it out and see what you can do, because the problem's not going to go away. The IRS is always going to be there, and they're eventually going to come after you. So you want to solve the problem some way. But if you can't afford to make the payments, and it's $10,000 or less, you can file an installment payment over 36 months, and you're guaranteed approval.
Oh.
But if it's more than $10,000, you fill out the form, you send it in, and the IRS will get back to you within 30 days or so and tell you whether they accept the deal.
Okay.
And then if they accept the deal, make sure you make the payments.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. So no one likes tax day. If you get into a bind and you owe more taxes than you can afford, the worst thing to do is ignore the problem. It will not go away. Protect yourself by following Mike's advice or call him at the number coming up next. We'll be right back.
Call Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information, or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, we'll have a lot more great information for you. So until that day comes, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.
Golden Opportunities is paid for by Elder Productions.